So welcome to part 2 of the presentation about the balance scorecard. We've looked at how the cogs can translate the balance scorecard, and you can see the impact of one part of your organisation on another. What we're now going to do is take it to a slightly different level of detail where we can actually visualise how you might use this as part of your organisation. So what we're going to do now is build up the pyramid on the screen again. Again, we've got the drive analogy down the side, and we're going to bring up areas of your organisation that we can start looking at. So we start with the goal. This is the direction your organisation is taking. We'll look at profit margin and return on investment, which is the financial measurement. We're going to consider 3 things around your customer, which is the product or service you're offering, the image of your organisation, and how you manage your relationship with them in terms of past, present and future customers. We're going to look at your processes in terms of how you deliver your product and service to them, and also consider the support functions and departments which help facilitate that. We're going to look at the safety, environment and quality management within your organisation. And finally, we're going to look at the evolution engine, which is the passion, the performance and the skills of the people that help deliver your product. What we now have on the screen is a dashboard which shows a series of KPI measurements. If we briefly overlay the pyramid on top of that, you can see that the structure of the dashboard is very much in line with the pyramid. So we can see the measurement around the finance, the customer and the evolution engine. So let's take an example of a typical company. In this instance, the directors have identified that the profit in the company is not where they want it to be, and they fundamentally believe the issue of that is driven by one of the processes that they use in production. Because of that, the turnover of the organisation is being restricted, and that's restricting the profitability of the organisation. So let's start off with that point that they know that one of their processes is causing an issue. What the balance scorecard has identified is actually the problem is much deeper in the organisation in 2 areas. The first area is in the engineering department, because there's no maintenance plan to make sure that the machine operates at its most efficient. The second issue is around skills. So the engineering department don't have the skills to develop the maintenance plan, and the operational teams don't have the skills to implement it. So by fundamentally fixing those 2 issues, we can now have a machine that runs much more efficiently. Now we know as a result of fixing that operation that will deliver much more value to the customer. So we have something that's much more competitive in the marketplace, that we're delivering products and services to the customer on time and in full. That will result in the reduced number of customer complaints and improvement of customer satisfaction. Taking all of those things together, the customer is more likely to engage with us as an organisation. That's going to drive up turnover, and because we're working efficiently, improve margin. Those 2 things together will ultimately drive profit within the organisation. So what we've done now is fundamentally fix the things deep within the organisation, and that's resulting in us having a sustained improvement in performance. So let's consider what the benefits to drive are. Well, if you run your organisation where you're only looking at financial information, it's like driving a car by only using a mirror. What you really need to be doing is looking forward and checking other KPI measurement in terms of driving the car, but have a mind of what's happened as well. What we're trying to do is get to a point where we've got a proactive organisation. We don't want a reactive organisation, and the balance scorecard is a way of making sure that not only are we looking at what's happening now, we've got an eye on what's happening in the future, and that's the thing that can drive sustainable change. Thank you. Good. Stop.